Welcome, everyone. Welcome, my friends, to the Esteban Hours Weekly Review Sound Off. Today's topic is about definitely 19 individuals who've been brought up on indictments in Fulton County, Georgia, by District Attorney Fanni Willis. 19 individuals. That includes former President Trump and all of his antlers, crowmen, followers, idiots, whatever. We're going to discuss that today and what is in store for the future for the United States and for these gentlemen as well. First, let's bring in our co-host, Mr. Jeremy Baker. Hey, Jeremy.
Well, that's good. Woo! What a bombshell, huh?
Thank you
This was
for joining us.
way bigger than I saw
Hold
coming.
it. Hold it down. Hold it down. It's coming.
Okay.
And joining us today is Mike Felino. Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's up? How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. Also joining us today is Mr. Paul J. Sizzler II. Hey, Paul.
Howdy. I am awesome.
All right, gentlemen.
It's about to get real.
Oh, it's real.
Okay, so fourth indictment for former President Donald Trump, a total of 91 counts, right? And now there are 18 co-conspirators that's been added to this. I actually tweeted last night. By the way, I was up to like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Twitter was on fire. Last night it was interesting that a lot of these co-conspirators, most of them are lawyers, right? Republican lawyers. So before we go into that, I want to hear everyone's opinion on this fourth indictment. Let's start with you, Jeremy.
Trump is so screwed. I mean, where do we begin? Oh man, I mean, I knew this was going to be huge, but this is no longer a political trial, okay, whatever you want to call it. This has become a racketeering, organized crime trial, okay? I think people need to understand that. You're talking about a mob boss, so to speak, and all the people that work for him are about to go down for what they've done. I mean, I don't understand how anybody supports these people at this point. And I mean, even Giuliani, his response, of course, was like, we should start a RICO case against Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
For what, man? For what? Like, you have to have actual physical evidence. You can't.
That's one of the tweets I actually sent out this morning was that watch now how many on the far right is going to they're going to increase their attacks against Hunter Biden just because of this.
My God, leave the guy alone, man. We don't want to see his dick anymore. I mean, we're good.
Mike, what do you think?
Traumatizing enough, man. I don't need to see that shit again.
There's
I'm worried we're going to end up seeing Giuliani's dick here soon. That's the one that scares me the most. I'm sorry.
We almost did in the Borat movie.
Yeah,
I know.
But when it comes to this latest indictment, I think what you said is pretty spot on, Jeremy. I think we all knew it was going to be big. You know, we heard the word RICO being thrown around a little bit. That starts to give you a scale of where the prosecutors are looking and where the grand jury has to agree that there is evidence. So now that we know these 19 co-conspirators and upwards of 30 unindicted co-conspirators, I think it's about time we finally give Donald Trump the praise he deserves. He has always admired mobsters. He has fancied himself a crime boss. Michael Cohen, his ex-fixer, wrote extensively in his book about that fact. And I think as much as this man has failed at everything he's ever done, he has finally succeeded as being recognized as the head of a criminal organization. I think we should give him his due.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Very well said. Great point. Paul, what do you think? And this is the professor of politics. Tell us your thoughts.
Anybody in here ever watch the A-Team?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
Ever.
indictment is just the cream of the crop. It is so well organized. You got 19 defendants that are all going to have to defend themselves in one court case, unless they apply for a severance from the case.
And they probably will, some of them.
And when they do, because you got to remember, RICO, that's 5 years minimum in Georgia. Regardless, there's no probation, there's no parole, there's no pardon. You get convicted, it's 5 years before you can go in front of a board and try to get out. Doesn't matter who you are. It's 5 years. So everybody that's looking at this, the ones that don't have the money, I want my speedy trial. I want to be severed from this case, and I will take a plea. Got to serve 2 years under RICO minimum.
Really?
Yes. So
Wow.
they are serving 2 years. Guess who doesn't want to do 5? I bet you that bondsman doesn't want to do 5.
Right. And my guess would be that those fake electors who are part of this indictment
Don't want to do 5.
Don't want to do, and they most likely may be one of the first to try to cop a plea deal.
Kanye's publicist doesn't want to do 5.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, one of these people is Kanye's. Are you serious?
Yes. The black
Yep.
lady. Yes.
I don't know why that makes me so. That makes me laugh so much.
This
I don't
lady
know why,
right
I'm
here.
sorry.
What's her name?
Isn't it Cootie?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. All right. I heard the name. I didn't know who it was.
I don't know, and I
Oh
don't care.
my god, that is funny to me. I don't know why that's funny to me, but that's hilarious.
Yes, we are talking about this. Fanni has done such a sweet job of writing this to protect not only herself, but to protect the integrity of the case.
Right.
So no matter all these little back doors that the Republicans think they have, that umbrella under RICO, careful. Imagine
Tell you what,
not a can of worms, but a case of cans of worms.
Right. And to think this indictment, there's 97 pages of it, 97 pages long. And Trump is still saying he did nothing wrong. This is a perfect call. I think I need to go sit in the psychiatrist's office because it's just it's above my intelligence of what to think about, because that's just ridiculous. And he even said something about having an 11 o'clock conference on Monday to prove that he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't break any rules. I'm sorry.
I can't
Where
wait
are
to
we?
see that.
I'll
I'll tell you, before we get too much into this, let me play our first video that kind of goes over everything a little bit. Is that all right with you, Esteban?
Yeah, do it.
All right, perfect.
Indictment includes 41 felony counts and is 97 pages long.
The indictment charges 19 people, including Trump, his former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, former lawyer Rudy Giuliani, conservative attorney John Eastman, former Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark, and several other Trump allies. The former president is facing 13 felony counts, including violating Georgia's RICO Act, a racketeering law used to take down major crime organizations.
There's no way we lost Georgia. There's no way. That was a rigged election.
The investigation was first
thought.
sparked by this January 2021 phone call where then President Trump asked Georgia Secretary of State Republican Brad Raffensperger to find the votes to win him Georgia. Trump has repeatedly defended the call and denied all wrongdoing.
Of
Okay.
course. How do you
So-
continue to say I didn't do anything wrong?
I think what's interesting and comes to the very heart of the indictment is that the RICO case is in play. But and I know that's obvious, but what I'm trying to say is we can't lose sight of in that type of case, it's not just about the head. Okay, it's not just about the leader, it's about everyone involved. It's think of a drug gang, right? You have the person at the top, and then it trickles down into the small time people, the people on the streets. That's what you have in the bail bondsman, the people just doing their job that somehow made a choice to get roped into this. It's not just about the guy at the top. For example, out of the 41 counts, Trump is only indicted on 13 of them. Giuliani 13, Mark Meadows on 2, John Eastman on 9. So there's a lot of other people that are being tied to a lot more specific counts than just Donald Trump. There's a lot of people involved, and a lot of those people are going to want to find a way out of this mess they got themselves in.
I would think so. That so far up till now, they haven't been too smart to follow behind Trump. But I would think that they would gain their intelligence at this point and their balls to realize that they're about to go to jail from 2 to 5 or years or longer
Minimum.
just for Trump.
I mean,
Yep.
It's not a small case. There's 161 acts, individual instances of crime in the first count alone.
Yeah.
That says a lot. There's a lot more evidence than just hearsay,
Right.
than just nothing.
Right? Yeah. I'm with Paul. I think Jared's going to be one of the unindicted co-conspirators.
Of the how many?
30.
30.
So far.
Wow.
In case, like Paul would point out, in case people don't know what those are all witnesses that are cooperating.
Correct.
If
Right.
they don't, they will be sitting next to them.
So
with-
question.
that-
Question: how probable do you think it is that Trump will get out of this, given the evidence and the charges at hand, and knowing that he cannot pardon himself? How probable?
I will Paul answer that
If
one.
he flies to China or he flies to Russia or North Korea or somewhere like that, that's how he could get out of it. Going to another country. If he stays in the United States, if they remove Fanni, because Georgia can remove a DA just because they want to. Then you're looking at, because it's under RICO and now you're interfering with a RICO case that she brought. Now you're looking at being part of the umbrella of the RICO. In other words, you are now part of the you're now part of the hold on, I don't know why the word isn't coming to my mind here.
Motion detected at your office.
You're part of the, God damn it.
This issue was what happens to me, but I have an excuse. We all
Yeah,
what that
I
excuse
know
is.
you're stoned. So,
brain fog.
the enterprise,
We call it brain fog.
There,
we
that's
go.
the word.
Okay,
See, I helped.
the enterprise has everybody listed, including the unindicted co-conspirators. Okay, they're all part of the enterprise. So now, if you do anything to try to stop or slow this down or interfere with it, you could then become part of the enterprise. And now you're looking at federal charges, which is now going to fall under federal RICO. So to interfere with this, to pull Fanni out, you're looking at yourself becoming part of the enterprise. So with that said, if no one interferes and tries to stop it, then Trump is probably going to be convicted in this one right here. This is the one that will lay him down and put him behind bars.
And I think we're looking at how the situation is at this moment, but we got to understand that people are going to start getting the knives out. It's like stab each other in the back as soon as possible. Oh my God, it's going to be a circus.
This is going to consume the Republican Party.
I'm concerned this is the case that may bring out some idiots and violence, even though, I mean, even Matt Gaetz is dumb enough to go in Iowa to the state fair and say, or I think it was Iowa, the state fair, if I'm not mistaken, and say, oh, yeah, the only way we're going to do this is with force. Matt Gaetz needs to understand that that's not going to happen. You have, like, you know, a few rednecks would be, yeah, Americans have a lot of guns, but they don't have the United States military, which under Trump spent a whole lot of money being the best military in the world. So, I mean, the idea that they're putting this violence in people's heads is what bothers me. It's an idiotic idea, and it's going to get people hurt. It's going to get people hurt. And I think I think we're going to see an escalation and at least threats. I hope to God nobody's dumb enough after seeing how big this indictment is to go through with anything. But, you know, since I've started podcasting with Paul and Esteban, I will never say that it's not possible.
Well, who says they could read? They can't read the indictment. I mean, I understand the cult. I understand that's true. I understand that the people who were targeted and duped following him. I don't understand the people outside of the indictment, the people like Mike Pence, the people who, I mean, maybe he's turned on him a little bit, but there are still people, plenty of people, Kevin McCarthy, certain maybe people whose sanity might be questioned in Congress, that are still supporting him. And at any point, they could jump off this train. They can go, well, that's it. That indictment presents such a case that you're right. He's a criminal. I'm done. I was wrong. But they're not doing it. So if they're not doing it, then they're going to keep encouraging the crazies, to your point, to do something, because all these people have left. All these horrible, corrupt monsters have left are these foot soldiers waiting and frothing at the mouth to do something to prove their loyalty to their golden god.
That's right.
That's right. Some of these people I just don't understand, like Harry Lake, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, I don't understand what their brain must. Go ahead, Esteban. I'll end up getting on tirade on that one.
I was going to mention, what do you think, or how do you think Trump has responded to this, or what has he been saying? He posted a 2 a.m. rant, okay, which was filled with a bunch of typos and grammatical abominations that reeked desperation, complete desperation. He completely whined like a petulant little child in his rant. But we're used to that, aren't we?
I might have it. I might be able to pull it up. Hold on.
He still continues to say that the system is rigged against him and that everyone else is corrupt. Not him, but everybody else is corrupt. Well, I had someone send me a tweet today talking about trying to put down Biden, President Biden, that, you know, he's horrible and he doesn't follow the law. I was eating at that moment, and when I read that, I almost choked, because I'm like, the audacity in the middle of what we're in. We just finished the fourth indictment, and they're saying President Biden is not following the law. Well, obstruction, bribery, insurrection, conspiracy, now the RICO law, and you're talking about President Biden.
So this is one of his posts from today. I just wanted to pull it up real quick.
Yep.
I forget what time this one was, but you can see it there. Can you believe it? The failed district attorney. Why is everybody such a failure? Except for Donald Trump. Like, everybody's a failure. Fanni Willis, where murders and other violent crimes soar daily to new records. I mean, this guy's insane.
Look, here's what.
And then, of course, my reply is, I'm curious, is Biden's DOJ also causing you Republicans to commit all these crimes?
Well, he posted an hour ago on Grift Social, and I quote, I don't know how to quote all caps. I'm not going to yell, but let's imagine.
Yeah, don't just scream.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I quote, Crooked Joe Biden is totally controlled by China, Ukraine, and various other countries. They know everything about him, all of his misdeeds. He is a compromised president who is leading our country to hell. He is a Manchurian candidate. So let's take a moment here to realize and get back to it. They're all still saying these things about Biden, about the mysterious nuclear laptop from hell, because he's saying it. It's simple. They're taking their orders, they're taking their talking points, they're taking their scripture from Donald Trump himself 1 hour ago.
So
I guess who's going to amplify it, though?
Simply take what you just said and take what everybody on the far right says and replace the name of Biden or Hunter with Trump. And there you go. There's the truth. There's the truth.
Here's
Basically,
something else.
everything they're accusing people of is they've done it. I mean,
a million times.
Well, here's something that I want you to also think about and all that, because when you're seeing, first of all, this case, January 6th, and you're looking at all of this stuff, Trump stealing all the documents and trying to keep them and stuff. Know the difference between a narcissist, a psychopath, and a sociopath, okay? Because they all have similar traits, all right? Now, your narcissist is usually going to be selfish and cruel, but is going to be less likely to engage in like illegal and violent behaviors, okay? That's your narcissist. Now, your sociopath is going to do things via manipulation and deceit versus violence. Your psychopath are the most violent and dangerous because they lack empathy, they don't have a conscience, and they have no respect for authority. Now, I know that people throw these terms out there and they call Trump a narcissist, all right? Trump is beyond narcissism.
Yes, he is.
Trump is beyond sociopath. He is a psychopath, all right? And when you go to the clinical definition of it, he is a very, very dangerous individual. He's willing to break the law, and he's willing to hurt people, and he doesn't care who gets hurt.
And he's willing to have other people hurt people.
Yes.
Right. I don't think so. Yeah, that's why I think he's such a coward, because he would never do anything himself.
He's a cult leader.
He would never do it himself. That's why.
Isn't that what dictators are and cult leaders?
I mean,
what did we see?
The brilliancy
of Hitler do himself? What are we hearing that Putin is doing himself? Nothing.
I mean, he's a Charles Manson. I hate to use.
There you go.
I hate to make
That's a
it
good way to
so
put it.
simple as to just compare to other people in history. But, you know, Paul just pointed out important distinctions between serious psychological menaces to society.
Yes.
You know, and when you look at a Putin, he is about control on a huge scale. You look at a Hitler, he's about control and dark social engineering. But you look at a Charles Manson, he's high on his own supply. He believes his own nonsense, right? Charles Manson thought there was going to be a race war, thought the Beatles, if you played them backwards, were telling him all horrible things. This man was convinced of his own bullshit and convinced other people to go out and kill for him. He went to jail too. He didn't kill anyone.
True.
And that's the point that I was trying to bring up and all that, okay? Because a lot of people like to compare Trump to Hitler, okay? DeSantis is more like the Hitler.
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of people don't think that Trump is all there, you know, that he's not that smart. Trump is brilliant. Okay. A lot of people are going to like, no, Paul, you're out of your mind. All right. Trump is brilliant. Remember, brilliancy, the person that is just like very brilliant can slide into madness, insanity. They kind of go hand in hand. All right. When you look at the psychiatry related to Donald Trump's mind and where he is, he's gotten away with so many things for so long and believes that things should be a certain way. And he's always been in power with money and with daddy. And now that he's out there on his own doing these things, and he thinks that everybody's going to cover for him because of loyalty, all those loyal dogs that are going to keep licking his boots, as long as he has control over them, they're going to keep doing the things that he wants them to do, like Charles Manson.
Mm-hmm.
He is a psychopath.
Well, why
Very
don't we?
dangerous.
Why don't we
And, you know-
play the video or the audio, whatever it is, for the actual phone call?
Yeah, let's do that. You know, Trump never had respect for law and order.
Correct.
At all.
Never.
Correct.
He's always
Even
he's
when
always
he
trying
was
to find
down in
loopholes and
Alaska.
ways around things. I mean, he's always been like that. I don't think he's ever done anything honestly in his entire life. I mean, for real.
I
All
think
right,
he
there we
pays people specifically to find the loopholes or to get around
Right.
things in an illegal manner.
Correct.
Okay, let's do this.
Recording.
This is what all the fuss is about.
All I want to
Well,
do
part
is
of it,
this.
anyway.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Oddly
Because
specific.
if we won
huh?
the state,
Mr. President, you have people that submit information, and we have our people that submit information, and then it comes before the court, and the court then has to make a determination. We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right.
we have won this election in Georgia based on all of this. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad. You know, I mean, having a correct, the people of Georgia are angry.
He's mumbling.
These numbers are going to be
It's just
repeated
a
on
word
Monday
salad.
night,
It's like
along with others that we're going to have by that time, which are much more substantial even. And the people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, you know, that you've recalculated.
that's
Mr. President,
right there is when he really effed up. Nothing's wrong with saying that you just recalculated.
Doesn't
That
his
is the
tone of
intent.
voice sound like persuasion or intimidation?
I mean,
But he's not
like
asking for the truth. He's not asking
Well,
for the truth because he knows it's not there. But he's
It's
trying
aspirational.
Yeah.
But this is the problem. Like Fox News will go on Fox News and be like, "Don't believe what you just heard on the audio recording that was in Donald Trump's real voice." And just don't believe it. It's not that's not what you think. I mean, come
and
on.
his supporters do this. La 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 la.
They've
I
been trying
a video the other day. It was all facts, and man, you should see some of the comments I got. Jesus, like, oh, you're such a liar. No, I'm trying to.
Yes.
this
I'm
goes
legitimately trying
to
tell you the truth. Damn it.
Yes.
this goes to his sickness, if you will, and the privilege he grew up with, where since he's never seen any accountability, he believes what he says is true.
Absolutely.
I think he knows when he's quote lying, but he also believes what he says is true. And this is why ever since the indictment came out, all the Looney Tunes on Grift Social are talking about how, oh, what, you can't just sit at home, watch TV, and tweet anymore. No, you could do that, but if you tweet fire in the theater, it's still a crime. But they're trying to make this a First Amendment argument, about aspirational speech, that you could say what you want, and it's up to the person how they took it, whether it's a crime or not, or if you took action on what I said. At some point, we all have to realize that everyone understands. No one ever is going to necessarily implicitly say commit this crime. You're going to try and cajole them. You're going to try and convince them, persuade them, intimidate them. It's not about necessarily what you say, it's how you say it. It's not necessarily about not saying it.
Look what that
They
picture
did-
says.
How did that get there?
I've
Who
been
put that
indicted
there?
for the 4th time. Please make a contribution.
Like, it's not even like donate to my presidential campaign. I need to do some rallies. I need to do some.
So, in other
promo
words,
videos.
please give me your money so that I could feel better.
He's not even like pretending it's for something else anymore. It's just like indictment, contribute. He probably gets happy. He gets most of his money when he gets freaking indicted. It drives me absolutely bonkers.
All right, let's take a look at this picture and tell me which of these individuals do you think will crack first?
Man. Not Drippy Giuliani. His brain is mush.
He's already kind of he kind of is what do you want to call it? Not participating. What the hell is the word I'm looking for? Now I'm having a Paul moment.
They are basically saying that behind the scenes that a lot of those people that were just up on the screen are engaging, possibly engaging with the government to turn on each other.
Oh yeah, you're gonna
not
see a
just
lot
Donald
of that.
Trump, but on each other, giving up the secrets that each other person did or is
Stephen Lee.
responsible for within the scheme, within the conspiracy. So this is going to be big. This is definitely going to be big. And when it gets to television, ooh.
Oh yeah.
Stephen Lee will be the first. Misty Hampton will be the second.
Okay. Audience, you heard that. Stephen will be the first. Misty would be the second.
Yep.
What's your hypothesis on third and fourth?
Kathy Latham would probably be third, and probably Harrison Floyd would probably be fourth.
So now tell me, who is this person?
Is that Jenna Ellis?
In the green.
Oh, in the green. That's
what
Kathy Latham.
I don't know who that is.
I know she's letting those fake electors into that basement where they were voting.
Yeah, she's
I can't.
She's screwed, is what she is.
Oh man,
Kathy
I don't know her
Latham.
name, but I can tell you what she is.
I believe it's Kathy. I believe it's Kathy. So I wonder if these folks do they regret what they've done? Is there any remorse now they're facing what they're facing? And all of those lawyers, in my opinion, their careers are done. It's over.
Oh yeah.
Over, because if they don't go to jail or charges are dropped, they forever have this indictment stain on them forever, and they've got to give themselves in right by August 25th. And they Fulton County said that they are taking mugshots, so those mugshots are going to be in history forever, and that includes Donald Trump. And that's what also makes me feel like he's not going to get out of this one. This is going to create such a stain for him and the Republican Party.
Do you know they
We're
also
see a lot of mugshots? We're not just going to see one mugshot. We're about to see a lot of mugshots.
Rudy Giuliani.
Do you also know that they make them all stand on the scale too? And I'm betting that Trump comes in at about 305.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. They're going to give us height.
We holding him to it, Paul. 305. That's big. You think he's that fat?
He's like my height, 6'4".
Is he that tall?
All right. And I'm 230. And that man is like almost twice my size. He's got to be over 300. So I'm saying 305.
Easy.
Yeah, because you look skinny. He does not look skinny at all.
Well, that's not what his doctor says.
Yeah, we're gonna find out his doctor lied.
I can't even lie. The guy can't even tell the truth about it.
Might have to bring him in under RICO too as part of the conspiracy. Trump isn't 233.
Okay, so tell me.
That's all I want to say before I forget. We haven't even. There's text messages. There's even these idiots did everything electronically. Yeah. Like, how dumb can you possibly be? They must have thought that they were going to get away with this.
Yeah.
because they literally left an electronic trail
That's
the whole way
exactly
down the
what
road.
it is. They really thought that this was going to work and that they were going to be able to steal the election from Biden and keep Trump in office. And once Trump stayed in office, Trump would be able to delete everything or make all the evidence disappear as if it never happened. And if anyone questioned it, they would be fired. They would be fired because Trump would be in charge. That is exactly what they believed would happen.
Right.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I think if that insurrection did not take place, I think he might have had a bigger chance of it happening. Because of that insurrection on January 6th, it brought attention to everything that they had been doing.
Agreed.
And forcing them to have to go back to investigate and research how it even got to January 6th.
Yes.
Therefore, exposing every phone call, every email. And if you heard from last night with the Fulton County DA, they've got emails and messages all the way up to 2022, even past 2021 of conspiracies and lies that this racketeering group was trying to implement on the American people. Shameful.
Yeah.
Very
That's
shameful.
why they put this clause in the 14th Amendment, to prevent something like this. And then, at least this wasn't a war, but this was like a silent insurrection for a long time. And like you said, I don't think some of this stuff would have been exposed had he not gone as far as he did. If he didn't bring the violence out, and then everybody, like you said, just started drawing massive amounts of attention to it.
Yep.
Like he's brought this whole situation on himself. That's why I don't feel sorry for anybody involved, because they literally knew what they were doing. Some of the lower end people might have got duped. Yeah, I will agree with that. Maybe
that's their problem. That's
right, but that's their problem, and I still don't feel sorry for them, because you know what I mean? They tried to end and overthrow democracy, for crying out loud. Why are we should not feel sorry or sympathetic for anybody that literally tries to end our country.
Another thought that I've had for a long time is we're not dealing with idiots. We're not dealing with kindergartners and first graders. We are dealing with smart people, professional people, lawyers, paralegals, doctors, nurses, teachers. We're dealing with people that are properly educated. Why do they continue to act like they're dumb, or they didn't know, or they weren't sure? Why?
Mike pointed out earlier that Giuliani kind of made his career on RICO cases.
Right.
He did.
Now he's literally the second one down from Trump in one. Woo! Good job, buddy.
He's probably going to be one of the most infamous person out of this entire group, because he was once America's mayor. And
there's going to be books.
He was known for throwing these same type of people in jail, and now he's right along with them. His mugshot is going to be up on that wall of shame, along with all of the people that he's thrown into jail. He'll probably have to put that mugshot on his own wall, because he's got his own attributes and successes on his wall. Now add your mugshot to that.
I think that's what. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
I think that. I think there's going to be a psychological aspect to this, because you also have to look at when people, you were asking, how do they continue to go? How do they continue to do this? First of all, nobody likes to ever admit that they're wrong. People don't like to be shamed. Nobody wants to say they backed the wrong horse. All right. So when you get into that mentality, you're going to continue to keep going and keep going, even though you're wrong. You got to justify it, and you don't have regret until you're in that corner that you can no longer dig your way out of.
Yeah.
Once you're backed into that corner, your back's against the wall, and you know there is no exit for you. Now you have the regret. That's when the regret comes in. And now you're trying to find your way that you can make it beyond what's coming.
Right. It's too late.
And I hate to say it, but there's a percentage of people and all that. Don't be surprised if a few of these people take their own lives because they have a lot to lose.
Right. And they can't, they're not used to this, right?
Right.
So they can't handle what might be coming.
Right. And there's going to be people that are going to try to flee the country. There's going to be people that are going to give up everything that they can. They're going to try to make their comeback writing books. When I was part of the cult, stuff like that. So I mean, think about it. When I mean, look at the grandma Pam on the insurrection and all that, you know, she's got a book deal. She's on Twitter all the time. Love Parnas. Okay. These Michael Cohen. Okay. They're writing books. They're getting notoriety and they're trying to recover from what they've gone through. So now you have to plan ahead. How do I get above and beyond this downfall that I've had? Because if I don't recoup something, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? Because I'm not getting a job anywhere else. Nobody's going to hire me in any of the fields that I'm known in. What do I do? And if you can't see a book deal and you can't see a way forward.
Right.
That's right.
I think that's a really good point. I mean, these people have dug themselves in by choice to this fate that they've built for themselves, all predicated on some false hero. But I think sometimes it's easy to lose sight in the fact that, you know, the evidence against them all is their own words, their own faces, their own tweets. And what makes it even more ridiculous is none of this is testimony from anyone else but Republicans, but the people involved. All the evidence is right there the way they laid it out for everyone. These people tried to take over the country. That's what you do when you're trying to rig a presidential election. They did this on Twitter, on Facebook. They announced it in speeches. You know, they did this to themselves. They made phone calls. They intimidated people on phone calls. We've all heard them. We've seen the tweets. We've read it. We've heard the speeches. These people did this to themselves, and it's going to be separated by those like a Mark Meadows, like a Giuliani, like a Trump, who have no scruples, who probably have nothing left of what makes them human in them. And from the people like the bail bondsmen, the people down below who may realize that, yes, they made mistakes and they screwed up not only their life, but they're going to go down in history as people that tried to destroy this country. Can they live with it? Can they live with themselves? Some of them will, some of them won't.
Right.
All right. I want to make you guys laugh, okay? Because I know we're getting close. I mean, we didn't even set a time limit for this show, did we? I knew this was going to be a long one. So I want to make you guys laugh, but we all know that Donald Trump doesn't read. So I want to share this with you real quick. This is how I envision they're giving him his the lawyers are sharing the indictment with him. All right, let's see if you guys are ready for this one.
Is it all crayons?
They all have like fake TV screens they put on their shoulders. So he's sitting there with a remote control in the background. Instead, it lets you hold the president's attention for a few seconds before he wants to change the channel. My God, that is hilarious. That is literally how I picture this going right now.
Right.
And there's Trump walking, or the lawyers walking out of here like, my career's over.
Okay. Woo. So tell me, what do you think about this woman?
Oh, Miss
Sidney
Powell.
Yeah.
Miss Sidney Powell. Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal Sidney Powell.
She is the Venezuela lady.
Well, I've seen a lot of chatter from people that know far more than I do that they are starting to think all of the other top dogs in this are going to start turning on her and dump it all on her as a way to try and
saw that too.
I mean, look, I don't know what merit any of this has, but they're all going to start gnashing their teeth at each other, and she better watch out because they will.
You better watch out. Yeah, but you know what? If someone is thinking that, that's a great thought, because she's the number one person who's been labeled as crazy since day one.
That's
She's
true.
the one that came in and threw all those crazy ideas in front of them. Now they were crazier to believe them, but she's one of the ones that started, in Giuliani's ear about it. So that's a good idea to start throwing it. It was her fault. She started.
She's not crazy. She's brilliant. She knows how to manipulate. She's a master manipulator. Okay. She's definitely a sociopath. And as soon as they start trying to throw her to the wolves, she's going to say, well, guess what I have on my laptop?
Yep. We don't know what's out there
wanna
yet.
talk about
That's
laptops.
100%.
Guess what I have on my laptop? You think Hunter had some stuff. Let me show you mine.
Yes.
Dude, the show hasn't even started yet. This is just like the pregame warm-up.
Destroy half the people on that damn list.
Yep.
Yes.
This indictment was the
And
trailer.
And then she'll write a book.
That's usually how a crime family goes down, right?
Yep.
Because they all start picking at each other and let all the secrets out of the bag, thinking it's going to save them, but it ends up bringing everybody down.
Yep.
And
So
this all boils. This was all about them getting into power and getting rich. That's all they wanted to do. They just wanted to get filthy freaking rich. They didn't care about the country. They didn't care about a single goddamn person in this country when they did this. All they wanted to do was keep everything for themselves and take more away from people that already don't have anything.
And they probably all made millions and millions of dollars of this. But now we're going to see if those millions of dollars is worth a jail cell.
Oh, we got to talk about it on Monday's episode next week about the money trail that the Democrats are about to bring out. They're about to expose all the finances that Trump and them made while he was in the White House.
It's about.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's about time you fight back, man.
I was appealing to Senator Schumer this week, being that I am a New Yorker. Dude, what's your problem? What the hell is your problem? These mothers are going wide about Hunter Biden, and we don't hear shit out of you in Congress. What's the problem? I don't care. I actually said this to him. I don't care if it doesn't go nowhere. And if you don't say to me that, well, we don't want to waste taxpayers' money. Don't tell me that. Okay? Because the Republicans are doing a great job at that. Okay. The point being is you've got to fight fire with fire. There's enough evidence to even have a point of persuasion of a possibility that there was improprieties with Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. Okay. Just bring it up. Bring it to the table. Start an investigation. That's exactly what the Republicans are doing. They know these things won't get anywhere, but just the point that they talk about it, they know that's what will get some Americans. With the Democrats, damn it, get it together.
Right.
I think that's why it's so effective, though, is they are spreading the lies and the hate more than the Democrats are spreading the truth.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And people like, I'm sorry to say, but there are some people in this country that they just believe in anything they hear. You know what I mean? They trust one source, they don't fact check, and they just believe whatever they hear. There's a lot of people like that.
That one person. They don't care how, where, when, what. They just want that one person, and that's it. Go ahead, Paul.
There's two people on here that are facing, even though they're facing like one of them, like Jenna Ellis. She's only facing 2 charges. Okay. She's got count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO, and count 2 is solicitation of violation of oath of public officer. Okay. Solicitation. Now, the only other person I think is Ray Stallings Smith that is under number 2, which is solicitation. Of course, he's got a lot more counts now. Now, Jenna Ellis was the campaign lawyer. Okay. And I think, if I'm not mistaken and all that, Ray is the Trump campaign attorney. Okay. These 2 people on this solicitation holds all the names and the money. Okay.
Right.
When you start getting into the campaign aspect of it, and you start getting into who's paying who off, that little black book is going to be worth a lot. Now, Jenna Ellis has only got 2 counts on her. She's only looking at 10 years. Okay?
Only.
If she takes a plea, she can serve 2 under RICO and have the other one done concurrent and only do 2 years and be done with all of this. And all she's got to do is give up the little black book.
I think
Now,
this is another.
She
Oh, I'm
might
sorry,
be
go
one
ahead,
of the first ones to jump off because she's got a lot to lose for having the least amount of counts against her.
Right.
And she has information that will bury everybody else. And then you throw that in along with the other campaign lawyer. You just put her picture up. Powell, Sidney Powell. Again, I'm saying that we're going to see some unfolding here. And when things start to unfold, that those dominoes, once they start to go, it's all going to fall down. There's no
dam's gonna break.
Yeah, when they're done, it's an explosion.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
And
an
I just want to
explosion
say
of facts.
there's another underlying factor that I don't think we've really discussed yet, that the report just came out the last week or two that Trump's campaign he's broke. Essentially, the PAC is the super PAC or the PAC, it's done, it's broke. And this is before this indictment. And most of the people that are in this indictment do not have that kind of money. They don't have people donating millions of dollars to them out of their hard-earned money. You know what I mean? These are going to be people that have to use probably
true.
their own money.
That's
I mean,
another
Trump, the
thing.
PAC can't afford everybody's lawyers.
Right. I was about to say, so he's supposed to be paying people's legal fees. How's he going to pay all 18 of these folks legal fees?
They said he's spending more. He's burning through more cash than he's bringing in at the moment because of all the legal cases.
This is the essence of the whole loyalty thing. They're going to find out that he doesn't understand what that means when he stops paying for their lawyers. And he keeps every penny for the last chance he has to stay out of prison. That's it.
Yeah.
I want to point something else out.
This is going to be so good.
I want to point something else out. Remember when they finally revealed his tax returns?
Yeah.
And he didn't bring in a lot of money. For a billionaire.
For a billionaire.
Right.
Okay. For a billionaire. And Forbes has never been able to prove that he's actually a billionaire.
Right.
I quite honestly believe that in assets, I don't even think he comes close to being a billionaire.
Neither do I.
I don't either.
I think the reason why he is really, I mean, you already saw the grift. I mean, you already put it up and all that. Contribute to me. Give me more money. I think he's beyond just broke in the essence of money that people are giving him to use. I think he is about ready to lose everything.
Hell yeah.
Another reason why Jared and Ivanka stepped aside to get out of his spiral down. Out of all of them, Ivanka was the smartest one of all of these people. Okay? Ivanka Trump, Kushner, was the smartest one. She knew how to play the game. She knew how to maneuver in between. And she knew when to cut her losses and get the hell out and not stand by daddy anymore because she knew daddy was going down.
Right. Yes. And she took what she could up until the point that she knew it was time to go. She got all of those patents and business deals from China, and she needed daddy for that. And she got it. And after that, that was it. And then her husband, he got the, that multi-billion-dollar deal with the Saudis. And so now they can relish together in those things together. They no longer need their father. They probably might even be richer now or in the future.
Probably.
And they're also the co-conspirators that are unindicted. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Well, like Paul said, I mean, these guys were neck deep in this stuff. So yeah, absolutely. It's going to get really interesting. And I think it might not happen until 2024, because I think after this episode of absolute idiocracy in Congress, once Democrats take over the Congress and the Senate, Now you're talking about Kushner, Ivanka. They're going to go after all this stuff. I mean, let's face facts. Dude, Jared Kushner should have never received $2 billion. He does not manage that kind of money. He's not a wealth management.
Listen,
he's not a wealth manager. It's not what he does.
I don't care. I honestly don't care about what Jared has and what Ivanka has. But if the Republicans want to spread Hunter Biden's penis all over the network, bring it on. Bring it on. Show Hunter Biden's penis, show Jared's ass, and show Ivanka's breast. Bring it on.
And we're even.
I want to point out another.
But that's
name.
fighting fire with fire. You know what I mean? That's, you know what I mean? If they're going to do, you want to do all right, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to point out everything that you're doing too.
I want to point out another name that's going to be on that 30 not indicted co-conspirators. Bill Barr.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, because he's already been speaking out against Trump already, so he's definitely turned.
Do you think that's probably why he resigned? He knew all of this was going on, and he was
absolutely
want to be involved in that.
Mike Pence.
He resigned,
and he's mentioned in the indictment, so he is a non-indicted co-conspirator.
I wonder if there's any people in Congress.
As the vice president, he was always there, right? He was there for everything, so it makes sense. And why he wouldn't be totally innocent is not because maybe he got involved, but because he did not do anything to stop it.
He didn't do anything to stop it as vice president.
As vice
and this new lawyer of Trump's is like, Pence is going to be our best witness. He's going to be a star witness for us. I'm like, y'all are high.
Don't
what
forget.
Are you smoking back there? Like, y'all are smoking some crazy shit back there.
There was a lot of time.
Be in jail.
There was a lot of time where there was a lot of talk about Mike Pence invoking some, let's say, privileges he has as vice president, invoking some amendments to stop Trump when they were still in office.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept saying that he was never going to make that an option. Well, now suddenly under RICO, and they're stretching back, seeing how long they were really planning this. What does his role in this look like? So, yeah, he is an unnamed, unindicted co-conspirator, but as Paul said, he is mentioned in there. So what really was his
He may not be guilty, but he's definitely not innocent.
Exactly.
And I got one more for you.
Uh-oh.
I got one more for you that played a role in connection with Lindsey Graham that nobody's talking about in relation to Georgia and what was going on. Herschel Walker.
Oh.
Why not?
Oh, that could be a good. You think of that?
Why do you think?
I want you to really, really think about that.
Why do you think?
I think he had knowledge. I don't think he played a part, but I think he had knowledge.
Okay.
They did endorse him heavily.
And they needed him. They would have needed him.
He has to know things. I mean,
knowing that he was a complete laughing stock.
He's a thumb. He's an actual thumb.
I mean, Lindsey Graham literally cried for Herschel Walker. I want you to really think about how hard they pushed to get Herschel Walker in office.
Fair enough.
Oh my God. Dude, I swear the guy forgot his name during an interview one time. I swear he was like, "Hi, my name is Herschel Walker."
He didn't have to be smart.
Your name.
He didn't have to be smart. He just had to be a stooge. That's all they needed.
Okay.
He was just a famous guy with a name, and they just were like, let's go with this guy.
He was trash. He was nobody. He was an embarrassment. That's all he was.
Now,
okay.
Granted, that came in 2022, not 2020. But I want you to really think about how that push came and why. And Lindsey Graham, who is going to be a non-indicted co-conspirator, and how hard they pushed for Herschel Walker to get in there because they wanted to overturn, because they knew this case was coming. This case was coming. So a lot of people are going to say, Paul, that's a reach. You're stretching.
No.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either, because the insurrection is still happening. let's be honest. The insurrection is still currently happening. Okay, it hasn't stopped yet. We still have people within the government that want to overthrow the government,
Right.
for Donald Trump. That
And-
is part of the insurrection.
And one of you guys said that there's still emails and phone calls and stuff like that in 2021 and 2022 that they're looking at. That's part of this. So I am telling you,
It's not over.
I think this is going to be a part of it. And when I'll leave it there. I said it first. I said it first.
Said it first here on the Esteban
I
Hour.
agreed with you first.
Okay. All right. So the last segment of today's sound off, which actually turned into an episode.
It did. That's right.
We've been here an hour already, fellas. Okay. I wanted to just bring out a little bit these two ladies who I feel out of everything and everyone, they were hurt the most. They suffered the most out of everything, and it was completely unfair.
Yes,
These
they really
two
did.
ladies, okay. May they feel some type of jubilation or joy after last night to see that the culprits that are responsible for the hate they received, the threats they received, for them having to be forced to leave their jobs, go into hiding. I hope that they got every sense of joy and how can I say a peaceful, vengeful attitude. You know, it's not good to be vengeful, but I hope these two ladies feel that they got a little bit of admiration for themselves. So now the world clearly has proof that they didn't do anything.
You know, if anybody in this country deserves justice, I think it's them too. Because, like you said, they've been through hell, death threats.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Moving, jobs. Like, seriously, they did not. And all they did was their job. All they did was help with the democratic process.
And all
those poor women were targeted and treated like they dehumanized them.
Right.
They really did.
And I'm not trying to make this a racial thing, but how dare these old white men, okay, put these two black women in harm's way to do their dirty bidding. Okay, how dare Giuliani go on camera and say they must have been passing drugs? It was a moment of where my brain was on fire. Okay, because if it was true, that's one thing, but it's not true, and you're repeating this junk that's putting these two innocent women in harm's way. I hope they go back and get their jobs back. And I hope more people are like them, stand up and fight back to those who want to be criminals and want their criminal behavior to override your lawfulness.
Yeah, I think we watched a video into one of the last episodes where they said they were passing USB drives like it was heroin or crack.
Yep.
Literally what Giuliani said, and it literally ended up being a ginger mint. That's all they passed. It was all it was, a mint. They literally had their lives ruined for passing a mint.
And therefore,
from one to another, man. Can you imagine?
It's Ruby Freeman.
I would be pissed.
What's the daughter's name?
Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss is the name.
There
Isn't
it
it?
is, Shay
you
Moss.
go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
We showed the picture. It's only right that we also say their names.
Yep.
Say their names one more
Say
time.
their names.
Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss are the victims of this
God
horrendous.
bless you, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. God bless you forever.
Real patriots.
Real.
Yes.
Yeah, those. I hope they continue to work in the election process. I hope their faith in democracy, in the end, after a justice is served, I hope their faith in democracy is restored, and I hope they continue to work in the election.
And if you're watching,
The
Ruby,
elections.
I like your style. I love your hair color and everything that goes with you.
And you can't
And they're
blame them
classy
if they don't
people,
either.
man.
And you can't blame them if
Classy.
they don't.
Correct.
I know you really can't. But I hope they stand up to the hate and like a big FU. Like, you know what? You're not gonna take me out of this. This is my country, not yours. You know
And
what I mean? We're not gonna let you take our
they do
democracy
one of
from us.
these.
Hell
Because
yeah, they
of-
should be out in this. They should be in the streets, fucking. Excuse my language, screaming right now. You know what I mean? I hope they're. I hope they're partying. I hope they're celebrating right now.
Now remember,
They
this
got
was
'em.
remember, this was just the first phase. We need to get through the trial, and
Yep.
we need a conviction.
Yeah. You know what they need to do down there in Georgia is take down that damn statue of Robert E. Lee and put one up of Ruby Freeman.
I like that.
I like that.
If you're listening, there's
Yeah.
a thought.
There's
We'll
an
second that.
idea.
Yeah, because she's the epitome of what voting and the election process is about. Honesty.
Yep.
Okay, that's a true patriot.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
is right there.
Right there.
Absolutely, I agree
Okay?
with that 100%.
These two women right here. Okay, and there are others like them. They just didn't, they didn't become infamous, but there are others around the country that gave up their jobs because they couldn't take it anymore, and they weren't willing to risk their families and their children to be placed into harm's way because of ignorant supporters of Trump that were threatening them.
Yep. This isn't a war zone. You should be practicing democracy safely, proudly. You should be doing the job of keeping your government running without the fear of a bunch of lunatic cultists trying to defame you, kill you, attack you, whatever it is, destroy your way of life for just doing your job. I mean, it's despicable. When it comes down to it, I think you're right. We can't forget the two of them for exemplifying what it means to be an American and stand up in the face of Trump, who is fundamentally un-American.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jeremy.
No problem.
Great
That was
discussion.
fun.
And most likely, hopefully, this is the last discussion on an indictment concerning Donald J. Trump. This was the fourth, and we hope the last. I think 4 enough is enough. 4 indictments, 91 counts, 2 impeachments. What else is there? But I don't. Let me not say it. Let me not say that. Okay. I thank everybody for watching, joining us this evening in regards to another happening and event in the day of Donald J. Trump. But this time, this included a lot more folks, a lot more professionals, and a lot more people who should have known better, right? They should have known better in what they were trying to do. And it's a real shame that they are telling the other side that the other side is rigging the system and trying to steal the election, when that is exactly what they did and most likely are doing. Maybe these folks that are been indicted, maybe they're not doing it anymore because they're already into trouble, but we don't know if there are other culprits or other folks that are under them that at this very moment is trying to concoct or conspire a new conspiracy to bring us into 2024 through his trials and tribulations and down to the 2024 election. We don't know, but we must stay vigilant. We must stay woke. Okay, there's that word. We must stay awake to what is happening around us, what's going on in our government, and we must understand the difference between truth and lies. Okay, and one more thing, we must not take a lie and make it the truth, and ignore the truth and bring up the lie. With that said, have a good evening, everyone. If you have a goal that you've achieved or accomplished, don't forget to say to yourself this.